Hey there, football fans. We've known the opponents for a while. The draft has been completed, but now we actually find out pen to paper who is playing who.
The time has come. The schedule has arrived.
So there's, as is customary every year, or I guess customary is the right word, although it sounds stupid because this shouldn't be the case. Games always get leaked leading up to the show. And right off the top, hello, beer for breakfast, facts for snacks. Excited to find out his Niners path to hopeful redemption.
Need them to do something because I think we're all a little tired of this Kansas City fiasco. So, it's time.
Well, speaking of Kansas City, of course, the champs open up the season on an opening night, opening Thursday, as usual, and they open with a rematch of the AFC title game. And now it's funny because normally when you have the champ open, it's kind of give and take whether they open against and with a quote unquote easy game where they can just, spin their wheels a little bit and drop a nice 40 spot, or they open up with an actually competitive matchup and give the fans, a good matchup to start the season off. And that's what the league did this year. They gave them the Ravens. So gauge the Ravens' chances to pull the upset. They did make some moves in the offseason, as we know.
I think it's great. I think they can beat the Chiefs. I don't see why not. They've retooled. They've brought in King Henry. Like they're all in. So it's it's all or nothing for Baltimore this year, and I think they have just as good a chance to beat Kansas City for sure. Kansas City, it's got some issues, especially at wide receiver. Rice is, we don't know how many games he's going to be out. There's a suspension looming with all his offseason stuff.
Yes.
MVS is gone now. He's moved on to Buffalo.
Super Bowl hero.
Yeah, the sure-handed MVS.
Valdez-Scantling.
So it's not an easy road for the Chiefs by any stretch of the imagination. And I think Baltimore is primed to kind of stamp their, put their foot down and say, hey, we're the real deal. So I'm excited for this one.
Another leaked game was misspoke there. The thing with the Ravens is, yes, they're retooled. Yes, they have a lot of new talent on the roster, also from the draft. But Arrowhead, as we know, is a near impossible place to play. And after a consecutive Super Bowl, the Chiefs fans are certainly going to let Lamar and co hear it on opening night. So do you think that kind of hurts the Ravens' chances a bit?
It's one of those things where everybody knows, the atmosphere there. You got to go and play. So they're going to, I'm sure, as they prepare, once they hit training camp and things like that, that's something, all teams prepare for, the noise level in stadiums. Yeah, it's tougher when you get there, but you just got to do what you got to do. And like I said, it's great for KC. Yeah, they're home, but let's be honest, no one really trusts them, throwing the ball. Who's catching the ball besides Kelsey? Let's be honest. Is it going to be a repeat? Will that offensive line all of a sudden crumble again? They're, great for holds and, offensive penalties. It's going to be interesting. I think Baltimore can handle it.
Yeah.
Even if Kansas City ekes it out, there's going to be questions. I'm not sold on Kansas City at all. So it's going to be good.
Cheers, Blue Ice. How are you this evening? Thanks for hopping on. And apropos to this comment, they were of course we show with a full page. They were just showing this Jets and Niners leak for the first Monday night, which I kind of got a little bit of a kick out of, because Aaron Rodgers opened up the Jets season last year on Monday night, and we know a mere 6 plays in that didn't go exactly the way the Jets wanted.
It was the greatest 4 plays of the season last year. I'm tired of people, knocking this. It was the best 4 plays. Yeah, I'm sure Jets fans are sitting there going, really? Monday night? But for the Jets right now, it's all or nothing. This is it for them. Because no one knows what the contract situation is going to be for Rodgers after this year.
Mm-hmm.
The MILF Hunter's gone. So there's a lot of questions. The Jets are built for now or who maybe never. So we'll see what happens.
The MILF Hunter, the savior of the Mile High until Ben DiNucci takes over.
Ben DiNucci. Remember the name. If you don't know, look him up. Ben DiNucci.
Yeah. So here's the rest of the week 1 schedule. And it looks like your Bucks have Washington, and it looks like my Colts have Houston. So I wonder why you got away with avoiding a divisional matchup week 1.
That's because we had a ton of them at the end of the year. Like, give me a break, man. Jeez. Gosh, man. It was a very rough off season for us. We had to dole out some cash. So Washington's got some talent. So I'm excited to see, the new quarterback there. Daniels, it's going to be interesting. They've, moved some pieces around, some new faces, but.
Yeah. What do you think the odds are that Jaden Daniels will be the under center for that opener against Tampa? Because we've already seen Caleb Williams. He hadn't even had a mini camp yet, and he's already named number 1.
Well, the Bears had to. There was no way Williams was going to sit. Like, they sent Fields packing, so that he was going to be the starter week 1. Unless Daniels really falls apart in preseason and such, he's got to be the starter. I think Washington is looking for the franchise guy. They want to start fresh. They've really retooled everything from the upper office all the way down, so they're looking for a fresh start. So it wouldn't surprise me that he starts. It would take a massive collapse for him not to.
Yeah. The other kind of big matchup for week 1 that we knew about several weeks ago that they just showed was this Brazil game, which kind of materialized out of nowhere towards the end of last year, beginning of this year, between the Eagles and the Packers. And I guess they want us to talk Niners. But I mean, this Brazil game is kind of I think that's going to be a good one. And it's not very surprising that that's what they picked to showcase in Brazil. 2 teams with high marketability and well-known kind of, face value, for lack of a better phrase.
No, definitely. The league is going to put out, the brand name teams. They want to go global. They want to go global like the NBA. So, of course, they're going to put teams out there that people know, franchises and such. So it's a good matchup. I figured Kansas City probably would have been one of the teams. You figure put your champ out there, but they're 2 quality teams. So it should be a good game.
Yeah. Okay, so we're good. This is good. We already talked about this game. So they just showed a couple games for week 2. One is Texans Bears, which I guess is just to showcase young quarterback talent because there's no real rivalry between these 2. And I don't think they exchange any players in the offseason.
No, that's what it is. It's showing the young talent, and everyone all of a sudden is high on the Bears. You've got people picking the Bears to make the playoffs this year. So it's kind of like, all right, we know that there's talent there, but let's pump the brakes. But I think it is exciting, it's, exciting to see, Caleb Williams, especially going up against Stroud.
Yeah. Hardball Bowl, I guess that's going to be earlier in the season. Are you excited for that? Because we've had the Hardball Bowl and the Super Bowl before. Are you excited for Hardball Bowl Part 2?
I think so. I think this one's a little different. I think it's a situation where, Jim's come back from college. He's fresh off the national championship. San Diego's retooled. Like it's not the same squad as it was last year. So I think you're going to see a different San Diego, a lot more run. They're going to try to protect Herbie a lot more. So I'm excited to see what this is. And, two brothers coaching against each other, I think it's something fun to watch for sure.
Yeah. And Joe Buck, ease up on the makeup. You're at home, my friend.
Man, that Joe's forehead, man, that's a little high, man. But hey, Joe's the voice, man. You got to give him credit. Joe's the voice.
The other game, I think they popped it up for when they were talking about week 2 as a NFC title rematch. So we get the AFC title rematch to kick off the season. Week 2, we get the NFC title rematch between the Lions and the 49ers. So that's got to be super. I mean, we talk about pressure on teams. Like, we kind of put a little bit of pressure on the Lions last year because of all the expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, there's got to be an insane amount of pressure on the Lions because we saw what they did. We saw how good where they were. There weren't a lot of holes on this team. So now, like, the pressure's on because now they have to win. Now they have to go and win the Super Bowl.
Oh, definitely. Hold on one second. So this is the Monday night schedule for September. They're showing.
Anything on here that seems like a dud? Washington, Cincy doesn't tease me too much. If Cincy's
Dolphins, Titans doesn't excite me. I'm gonna be an Eagles fan week 2. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
tell you that much. But it's an all right month. All right, I guess.
Yeah, that I think the best one on here probably is that Seahawks Lions because they put up a ton of points whenever they play each other.
Yeah, that could be it, and I think everyone's going to want to know what Seattle's all about now since it's the post-Carroll era now.
Yeah.
But no, back to your original question. Week 2, I think that game is the Lions almost need to win. It's weird. It's like weird when you say week 2 must win.
I know.
But it's one of those things where you're sitting there and there's all the pressure, there's all the talk, there was all the hubbub and the yay, we all love the Lions. Now it's time to put up or shut up. Especially
because so much can happen between week 2 and the end of the season.
Ooh, man, this October schedule. I like October better.
You said you have to be the biggest Eagles fan in that first game. How do you pick a team to root for in week 5?
By default, I have to pick the Chiefs. Because my disdain for the Saints is just that much more. Because I can't stand Cam Jordan and those boys. So yeah, all right. So I'll play some Taylor Swift that night and just sit here in quiet and silence in my house.
Yeah. Now that was oh wow, they're just ripping through this. Wow, look at your Bucks, 2 Monday night games.
Look at us, Baker Bay, baby, prime time. Put some respect on the name.
You got the what was it, the Ravens in October and then the Chiefs in November.
That week 11 game, I'm excited for.
That's gonna be good. The Battle of Texas.
That looks like a great game right there.
Oh, and here's the maybe I misread it before that Harbaugh Bowl's all the way down in week 12. It's not early in the season.
Okay, week 12. Yeah. So at that point, you're kind of seeing what's happening. But yeah, that Texans Cowboys game, that looks really good.
Yes, it does. Yeah, and you know what? Especially if the Cowboys haven't improved that run defense, their new addition with Joe Mixon, Texans are going to eat.
Well, it's that plus the fact that at that point you're going to know what the Dak situation is. What's the deal with Dak? So, all right. So December, Lions Niners week 17. Okay.
Oh, so that also what are they? Yeah, ESPN. I mean, I guess it would help if we were listening, but
no.
So Lions and Niners also way at the end of the season.
Bears, Vikings, Bengals, Cowboys, Browns at Broncos.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right.
I can get behind Bengals, Cowboys.
Yeah. Raiders will be whipping up on the Falcons. Okay. So there we go. Packers, Saints. Thank you. Go Pack. So,
yeah.
It's not bad. It's an okay schedule. You can't really complain. That Bears Vikings possibly could have playoff implications if everyone feels that the Bears are going to be in the hunt. So that could be interesting.
If the Bears are what they're supposed to be, the Bears are what I thought they were. If they are the sum of their parts from all this talent and potential they have, I mean, that could be a lot of wild card implications.
Oh, for sure. I think that's going on, the fact that, I think towards the end of last season, the Bears started to get the Bears started to get better. The Bears played better. Their defense wasn't bad. It's just that they were always behind the 8 ball because the offense, unfortunately, was just putrid. Yeah. So here's the thing. Like I said, you're starting the rookie. So he's going to – if he plays like Stroud did this past year, then, yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt there in it. That he would have to play that Stroud level for them, I think, to have a playoff chance.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
Probably better, really, because Houston really wasn't. That was a team that the previous year they did not have a lot of talent, but they played really hard, and there was a lot of potential on that defense. So you put in a mind like D'Amico Ryans, and he could kind of really do some stuff with it. So Caleb Williams, the Bears, not quite. I wouldn't say they're quite as good as the Texans were heading into the Stroud era. So Caleb Williams probably has to be better than Stroud. So that's a tall task.
Yeah. I don't know if Chicago's defense is at that level of the Texans, but at the same time, let's be realistic. The NFC is in a better spot this year than they were last year. Because don't forget, no one was giving the NFC any love in the preseason. It was AFC. Remember, we talked about it. We thought the AFC,
say us included.
We thought the AFC West was going to be the greatest division known to man, and we saw how that fell apart.
Yeah.
So, for the Bears, exactly. So for the Bears to knock on a wild card spot is going to be tough. But like you said, they're not at that Texans level. It's just the coaching. That's what the difference is. The coaching was great in Houston. What will they put Caleb? Will the Bears put Caleb Williams in a position to succeed and not take the blunt of everything? And if they go on a 2 or 3 game losing streak, are they going to be there to keep them up, keep them supported? That's what this is going to be. When you just throw a rookie in there, it doesn't always pan out, regardless of the talent in college.
Yeah. What do you think about ESPN just pumping their chests out with the Monday Night Football schedule?
Oh, man.
Let's talk about our stuff first,
It's going to be a little thing on the bottom. By the way, here's Fox. Did this. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, by the way, there's 2 games on Netflix, whatever. We don't care. But ESPN has this incredible, Washington freaking whatever game. Like, no, it's ESPN. You knew this is what they do. This is what they do. So they've got, like I said, the Monday night, it's a staple. So they've got some really good games. I think the middle of the season is a lot better than the end of the season. I don't like that December schedule. Like I said, it's really based on where these teams are come playoff time. But we've been surprised by teams before, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, Juan. We did touch on that already. The Brazil game.
It's going to be fun. Like I said, it'll be fun in Brazil. I think we've seen, everything out in England and Germany. So to see, and we've watched Mexico and stuff. So to see it in Brazil, to see that atmosphere, I think is going to be telling in how the NFL goes forward. Because like I said, the NFL is trying to push this thing global like nobody's business, because there's always the whispers of the Jags going to England and all of this. And by the way, the Jags, they just unveiled their prototype for their new stadium. So it looks like they might be playing some games in Orlando, the rumor is, and some other stuff in the next couple of years. So the Brazil game should be exciting. I've got questions about, the birds there. They've had some turnover there offensively and such. So, but it should be, like I said, if that crowd is anything like England, it should be a hell of a game.
ESPN pats themselves on the back, so why don't we pat ourselves on the back too? We try.
You know what? We're just two dudes who just love the game. That's what it's all about at the end of the day, you know. We make this up as we go, you know. No. But like I said, here's my question for you. Now all of a sudden, you know, Netflix has the 2 games on Christmas now. All of this. Do you think the NFL is heading to almost a pay-per-view kind of model? Because let's think about it. If you're a true fan and you watch every game, you gotta make sure you have Amazon, but literally everyone has Amazon, so that's basically written into your Amazon Prime account. So that one you don't have to worry about. Peacock, Netflix now, so it's.
The thing I wonder about Netflix is I hope this doesn't increase the subscriber cost, because Netflix has always been a very fixed price model.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we know the type of money that gets thrown around for NFL rights. So for Netflix to say, hey, give us some games for 3 years in a row, that's going to be quite a lot. That's going to be quite a lot of cash flowing around.
You know, it's that prime time slot everybody wants to get in on the Max.
Or should we call it Commander's Max?
Ooh, there you go. There you go. You write them and see if they'll let you, put that in.
And I think this was in reference to the Brazil game.
The NFL is a family show, so I don't know. There may be some pasty action, I would think. There's got to be something there,
Before they come back, I think they're getting ready to come back. Mm-hmm. So, do you think the Bucks 2 Monday Night Football games is, given the opponents they're playing, Baltimore and Tampa Bay, do you think that's a bit of a slap in the face, or do you take that as like proving ground?
I'll be honest. I didn't think. Oh, hold on. Oh, look at this winner. Look at this winner. Yeah. I'm sorry for all you Falcons fans out there, dude. I'm going to treat you as the dirt that it is. Kurt, the first question should be, how does it feel that the team drafted your future right off the bat? You didn't even play a game.
Couldn't get a tackle.
I'm sorry. Let's look at this Falcons schedule.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you guys are already going to make 500. I'll give you. No, let's see.
I don't know. I think they gave them a pretty easy one.
Oh, they did. They have the easiest schedule in the league.
Yeah.
Like they do. So
and a lot of a late bye week.
Yeah. So here's my thing. The Falcons have got talent beyond. I'm not taking anything away. Now. But I think Cousins had almost as much talent when he was in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw how his playoff record went. So now you're telling me this older guy who's coming off an ACL tear and all this, all of a sudden they're going to not only win the division, but some people are having Super Bowl, conversations. Come on now. So no, I feel that's the disrespect to Tampa.
Wow.
It's been for them to get two night game, I'm impressed. 2 games, prime time. I didn't think it was going to happen. I really didn't.
ESPN certainly is riding high on them. They put them front and center. The first real topic after they release the Monday Night Football schedule, they bring the new quarterback on. So Bristol's riding high on the Falcons' potential.
I'm surprised they didn't have Penix sit next to him so they could all look buddy.
Patting him on the head.
He's in the background with a sign. It's my time. I'm coming for your job. But yeah, so I'm excited that there's 2 primetime games. The Bucks are good. Like everyone has this idea. Yeah, 9-8 last year, whatever, yada yada. Made the playoffs. No one thought they would win more than 5 or 6 games. What was it? They were projected to win less than 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they pull out the division.
What was that? What was that prediction we talked about? It was like 5 and 12 or something.
Yeah, like 5 and 12, and you know they were going to bottom out, and this was the end. So now, you know they make them. Not only do they make the playoffs, they play the Lions hard. So let's be, you know, and all of a sudden everyone's like a year later, oh, that's it, they're done, it's over with. Not only do they re-sign everybody, they bring back Winfield, make him the highest paid DB in the league because he deserved it. He's literally the best safety in the league. Can't tell me otherwise. So I'm excited. I think, yeah, it also is proven grounds. You get those 2 games, no one's giving you a chance. So now they're going to prove.
Speaking of your Bucks, you'll like this one.
Especially if it's on Netflix.
Well, they're not playing on Christmas. They didn't get a Christmas game.
Just saying, man. But no, I'll give the Falcons, you know, they've got talent, but I think they screwed up the draft. I think they really had a need on the defensive line. They didn't address that really. And I think with that pick, you could have really done some things, but we're going to find out. Now that's if they play Bijan all the time, because we know how they like to sit Bijan every so often. I know there's a new coach and all, but so
Pitts, Mooney, Rondale Moore, London, and Bijan. That offensive line better hold up for him.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could have tooled the offensive line, because I understand you've had them forever and a day, but they're getting old. They got nicked up bad at the end of last year. Kirk cannot move. He can't move around in the pocket. Let's be real. He's not escaping. And especially in the NFC South, the defenses are fast. They're fast. They're quick, blitzing. Like this isn't Minnesota, man. Like it's going to be different for him. And he had talent like this in Minnesota. So I don't know what the difference is here, but we'll find out.
No, Bijan did not kill anyone in fantasy. Arthur Smith killed people in fantasy.
Yep, that's true, because that man flipped coins on who was playing every week. That man was flipping coins. Bijan, not today. Not today.
The Falcons must be playing, or I guess I should say the Falcons. The NFC South must be playing the NFC North, because they've got they were just showing Packers clips, and they showed the revenge game. So the Vikings gets that revenge game against the Vikings. Do you think the new look JJ Vikings have a chance to maybe give Atlanta some fits?
You would hope so, but I don't know what the Vikings are going to look like. Like JJ, I like the kid. I watched a lot of Michigan games last year. I liked him. I think the kid's got talent, but he's got weapons around him, so it's not like the cupboard's bare in Minnesota. It really isn't. If you look at it receiver-wise, they've got, you know, Jay Jettas, Addison. At tight end, you got Hawk. So they've got weapons around him. So it's not like it's this horrible, putrid offense that he's got to try to save all on his own. I think they're going to put him in a position where he doesn't have to do everything. But I think at some point, if he's going to want to be the guy, he's going to have to show some throws, make some you know, decisions, kind of play the game in a way where people will say, yeah, you know, he's legit, because I think there's still a lot of doubt on him.
Styling, profiling, high flying Kirk Cousins.
Those guys just wait him. Oh man, he just needs to be the face of Coles. Like I don't understand. I don't understand him at all. Like he plays this, like it's like his last name should be Manning. Like this gosh golly G Willikers Eli kind of guy. Yeah, you know he got that off the bargain rack at Kohl's. It's like an Adidas hoodie that you know your mom would have got you for like school. His wife's in the back. He's like, "Hey, dear, can I? Are we done? Can I get some snacks?"
Not everyone can rock the Brahma Bull Under Armour, you know.
You know, some people are built certain ways, you know. And look at him. He's like, "Hey, guys, yeah, I really love Atlanta. It's really great here." It's okay if they drafted my replacement already. It's fine. They paid me. I'll do my best. Coles, that's what 100 million of it was, the Coles stock.
Kirk Cousins single-handedly carrying Coles through the recession.
That's it, man. That's it. Without him there, they would have been shut down. Look at him, always happy and stuff. In his head, he's like, I'm playing for my job. I'm playing for my job. If they go on a 3-game losing streak, everyone's going to be calling for Penix. Let's be realistic here. Oh, Dan Orlovsky, stop.
How terrifying is that? Dan Orlovsky. We know you're a fan of Dan Orlovsky.
Greatest UConn quarterback of all time. Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to get Donnie Dollarsign.
Kirk Lanta, where the players play.
Where the Coles Cash plays.
That's it.
Oh, right? Here you go. Okay.
There we go. So Commanders, Lions, Broncos, Eagles, Falcons.
Oh, your first Falcons game's on a short week.
Okay.
Actually, both your Falcons games are on short weeks.
That's fine. That's how they want to do us. It's fine. Niners, Giants. I like that second half of the season, though. That's a very nice second half
Raiders,
of the season.
Giants, Panthers. Yeah. Other than maybe the Cowboys, you're looking at Niners bye week and then cruise. So even if you got off to a rough start, it's really not the most difficult task to rebound and close strong.
Yeah, exactly. First 4 games at worst, looking at 2-2 at worst. Worst. At absolute worst. But I think we can beat the Eagles. Lions, we'll see what happens, but I'll take 3-1. I'll take 3-1 against the Eagles because I don't believe in the Eagles. I think the Eagles are really going to falter a bit.
And it's at home.
Yep. So then you got your next 4: Falcons, Saints, Ravens, Falcons. We say we always split the division. We, even though I'm like,
you got some concerts going through the Ray J at the end of the season. 4 out of 5 games on the road.
Yeah, I think there's some stuff there. That's because the world wants to see Baker bang, man. Everyone wants to see the bake.
Spend your holidays with number 6.
That's it. Exactly. Oh, yeah, that poor man. Josh Allen, that poor man. I almost feel bad for them. But I don't. Oh, well. Oh, Lord. So, but it's good.
Can't tell if they're going to commercial right now.
Of course they're not. They're like, yo, buy some tickets. Oh, Lord. Really?
That's
like
the schedule release, bud.
All right, Miami.
Is it fast? Is it fast? We've talked about 2-team schedules. How fast is it really?
It's you need 2 hours for all of this, guys. But anyways.
Yeah. I remember last year when we did this show, it was like boop, 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 boop,
yeah,
we can't keep up.
They listed them.
I'm keeping web browsers open over here.
They were like win, loss. All right, next win, loss. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever you guys say. We were just spitting it out as we went. But now, of course, you got to sell it. You've got to sell it. It's the NFL, especially for Netflix and everything else. You got to sell it.
Yeah.
Because right now on NFL Network they got Mike Tirico on here. And, he's talking his game schedule. And, of course, they're going to probably have way better games. I always like –
I didn't mind ESPN schedule. I didn't mind the Monday night schedule. That's pretty good. They had a lot of good ones on there.
Yeah, but it was like a 50-50. 2 months were good. The other 2 months were like, okay, what do you – like the December –
It was kind of middle loaded. Like people say front load, people say back load. It was kind of mid loaded.
So Sunday night, the first week is Rams Detroit.
Wait, okay. Goff's homecoming or Stafford's home? Well,
Stafford's.
I guess technically Stafford's homecoming was in the playoffs.
Indy in week 11 is Indy at the Jets
on Sunday night.
I give you a Sunday night game. See, look at that. All that hard work from Uncle Rico.
How How did we get that kind of respect?
AR, man. AR.
Oh,
You don't forget.
I'm gonna laugh.
Thanksgiving, Dolphins at the Packers. They're Thanksgiving. They're the
Dolphins
night game,
oh,
8:20.
that's rough. Because
Yeah.
we saw how the Dolphins responded in that blizzard in Kansas City.
Let's see. What else do we got here? Cincinnati at Giants, week 6 on Sunday night. Dallas at Pitt. Buffalo at Baltimore.
Buffalo at Baltimore?
Buffalo's on there like Buffalo's, yeah. Then Buffalo week 13 at home against San Fran. Tampa Bay at Dallas week 16.
Oh.
Week 17 is Miami at Cleveland.
So you're playing the East and the North. Because I saw you had the Giants. I saw you had Washington.
Yeah.
And you had the Eagles.
The Jets are playing Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. An old AFC championship. Well, so the 2 years the Jets made the AFC championship game under Mark Sanchez, they're playing both those opponents this year.
Was it a sign?
It's a sign Aaron Rodgers is going to blow out his knee again.
Good Lord. Please at least let him get through the week 1 game. Please.
Thank you on Corona. Thank you for hopping on, sir.
Yes, thank you for joining. We hope it'll be a great season. Thanks for coming on, sir. Oh, man. So that's all they've got there.
Do you think that was planned? Do you think NFL Network was like, all right, we're gonna beat we're gonna beat ESPN to show on the Sunday night schedule?
Oh yeah, you know it. Now look, all of a sudden, holiday games. Interesting.
Yeah. NFL Network beat us. We gotta come back with this.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So I imagine that they're gonna okay, so this must be the first because Lions always kick off Thanksgiving.
12:30. Also, there must be 3 games.
Oh, there's always 3. I don't mind that.
Oh no, I don't mind it at all.
I don't
this
mind
is like
that.
this really.
You know what? I don't mind the Cowboys being the dud of Thanksgiving because that's when you're in pure food coma mode.
That's true, and you're delusional thinking, wow, they might be good
Yes.
this year.
Yes.
They might actually make the Super Bowl. Oh, I get you. So they do it for Dallas fans. I understand.
Yeah.
And then Dolphins, Packers.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that doesn't look as good as it could have because
the Black Friday game.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
No, I think it's good. The Raiders have had the Chiefs number the last couple of years, so no, I think it's interesting.
So I mean, so this is the second year. Oh, geez, they're just ripping through these, huh?
All right, so Christmas. I like the 4:30 game.
I like these. Yeah. The 1 o'clock.
Don't worry though. It's Mike Tomlin. He's the greatest coach of all time.
That's right.
He's the greatest.
No
500.
prime time game. Well, Christmas I think is on a weekday this year.
It could be it.
So maybe that's why there's no late game.
True.
That's all right. That was a lot they just threw at us in like 45 seconds.
Yes.
All right. So back to the Dolphins Packers Thanksgiving nightcap. This one's a tough one for me because why are they talking about this again? Anyway, I digress. That's a tough one for me because Miami got scraped in Kansas City in the snow in the playoffs this past season.
I think no one believes in Miami. I think that's the problem. We don't believe in Miami.
Right. But like I think that's what I'm struggling to get out is I'm not as excited about that game as I should be. Because I don't know how I don't know how you can I don't know how someone can expect us to be excited about that game after seeing how they played in the snow.
It's true, but
okay.
All right. Lost. No. Let's see. Ravens, Bengals, Falcons, Chargers, Saints.
That's
Bye week is kind of early.
Very early. And all kidding aside, that is not the easiest first half.
No. And then after week 10, Broncos, Bills, Panthers, Raiders, Chargers, Browns, Texans. Okay, your second half.
That's a nice second half.
that is a nice second half. So it's kind of like, really?
The toughest one on there is the Texans, then probably the Chargers and
Bills.
Maybe the Bills if they're still somewhat.
Yeah. I can't say the Browns because I don't know who the quarterback will be playing that week.
That's right. They don't know who their quarterback's going to be.
Exactly. So plus, you know what? Let's be honest. We don't even know who's catching the ball for Kansas City.
Yeah.
So we're saying, oh, the schedule looks somewhat, plausible and easy for them, but I don't think it is.
Oh, thank you, Mina Kimes, the savior. Now we can breathe and talk.
Exactly.
So, and then that Black Friday game, let's compare it to last year. Now, I know last year was supposed to be a lot better because Rodgers wasn't supposed to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But going into that, do you like Chiefs Raiders more than you like Jets Dolphins going into that game?
Yeah, you know what it is, because there's a history there. It's cheat. It's divisional. Chiefs Raiders. There's a lot of storylines in that, so it works. Yeah, Dolphins Packers. You're like, in a perfect world, you're like, okay, two young up and coming quarterbacks. Two great teams going at each other. It should be a great game, but like we said, Miami, we don't know. We don't know what Tua. We still question Tua.
Yeah.
We still question Tua. Yeah, they've got the receivers and such. Like, they have weapons. It's not like it's not a talented team. It's just, can Tua take them to that next level? That's the question. And with the Packers, Love showed a lot last year. So now it's that next step. So it's an all right matchup. Yeah, I would have liked something better, but no, I would take the Raiders in Kansas City for sure.
Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how tough do you think, with 10 being brutal, how tough do you think that first half is?
Ravens, Bengals, Falcons, Chargers, Saints. I think it's about a 7.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's a 7.
Okay. I was thinking 8, so 7's we're right.
I think what it is, I don't know what the Chargers are.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, okay, the Chargers are new and all. They're basically brand new and stuff. So it's like, I don't know what they are. So that's why, if they were last year's Chargers, I'd probably still go 8. I would go 8 because I think that team was talented. But now with everything, flipped over, the new regime and how it's going to be, it'll be interesting. But like I said, I think there are plenty of questions in Kansas City, and no one really talks about it. It's like, okay, who's catching the ball? Donovan Smith left. He was solid for that O-line, even though he was horrible in Tampa, but he was solid for them. They're old. He really was. But there's still questions. Like, you can't, they're not the Chiefs of 2 or 3 years ago. They are older. Who's going to take the lead? Yeah, they drafted, Worthy from Texas, but is he going to be your main receiver?
Yeah.
Are you going to ride Pachenko into the ground? Because you can't. You got to give that kid some rest. You need a quality backup. Is Hilaire going to be decent this year? Don't know. There's questions, but this is what we do.
Ravens, Niners, Texans. Of those 3, who do you think's the toughest opponent for Kansas City there?
Wow. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of. What?
Oh, this is petty. That is petty.
Wow.
Wait, what was the second one?
Oh,
I don't know what are those peeps? Are they crushing peeps for the Falcons?
oh, they were peaches.
Oh, peaches. Okay, they look like peeps.
Week 5. Wow, you guys, wow.
That is petty.
Yep. Oh, it's going to get real now. It's going to get real.
All right. Oh, okay. Let's have some fun with this one. Pick the game that you think Ben DiNucci is the starter.
Week 3 in Tampa. No. Legit, honestly, I'm going to say week 6, Chargers. I'm going to say week 6. You got to give whoever you're, because we don't even know who the starter is going to be. Let's be real. The Milf Hunter may eke it out.
What are they looking at? Oh, they got the Milf Hunter, they got Bo Nix, and they got DiNucci.
Now, the question first is, are they going to carry 3 quarterbacks?
I would think they would have to. I mean, with those names, I would think they would have to carry 3.
I don't know, man. It's Sean Payton. You know how he rolls.
I think teams should only carry 2 if you've got like a legit star.
I think they changed it after that San Francisco fiasco in the playoffs. Remember when they lost like every quarterback?
Yes.
So I think they can now carry 3 because they had like Joe Johnson or whatever who played for like 24 NFL teams in his career.
Yes.
Including the Bucks at some point. So I'd say like week 6.
And that would be funny if we look back on that game, on that moment in NFL history in like a couple of years, and we think, wow, was that the day the Niners window closed?
Yeah, think about it. Yeah, like really, like everyone was like, that was supposed to be the year. Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, here we go. Chargers rebound season with Harbaugh. They've made a ton of moves already. Can you leave the schedule for more than 10 seconds? My goodness.
Yeah, this is why it takes 2 hours.
Yeah.
Here we go. So as I scan this, it's not
that's a very possible 3-0 start going into the first Chiefs game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Broncos, Cardinals, Saints, Browns, Titans. That's pretty favorable, I would say.
Yeah, it's really not. It's, like I said, the Browns, you just don't know who the if what's his name's going to quarterback, if Deshaun will be there. But that defense is still great. Titans, interesting. Bengals.
Brutal close to the season.
Oh, yeah, that's rough. They're praying. The last 2, well, Broncos and Patriots are probably the saving grace for them.
Yeah, but the Patriots, because the defense is still good.
It's true. One. It's true, but it is a different Patriots team though. Now we have to, kind of. But it's not a bad schedule. It's really not bad.
No.
Oh, here we go.
Ripping through the AFC West. Okay.
Wow. So the only Monday night they get is
it's the Falcons.
So I get my Raiders jersey for that one.
This is similar to the Chargers, a relatively easy first half of the schedule, and not as tough as second half, but definitely tougher second half than first half.
Yeah, exactly. The question is who's the quarterback?
Yeah,
that's because I don't know if Uncle Rico. Who knows? Uncle Rico could be the starter week 1.
Yeah, you got Uncle Rico. You got Aiden O'Connell still there.
Yep. Yeah.
And is there someone else maybe?
Right now,
the third one right now.
They probably are. I'm thinking at that point it's between those 2.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Yeah, if they're competitive, that doesn't spell good news for them closing it out.
No, especially if it's a situation where they're behind a game or they need a game. Because, it's one of those things where, like in baseball, you're watching and, a team could lose 3 games. The next thing you know, you somehow you backdoor yourself into the wild card, no problem. In football, it's like if a team needs to lose 2, are they going to lose 2? Like it's minuscule.
I can't believe they were 8-9 last year. I looked at that. I'm thinking I must have known that, but I overlooked it. Like they were 8-9.
Their defense was good. It was one of those things that once Pierce took over, that team just took off.
That's right. Yeah.
So now it's he's there it's his team now. Is it going to be
They were like 6-7 or 7-4 or something after he took over.
Yeah. So now is he their friend, or is he or is it still that line of, okay, yeah, you're coach, we got to make sure we get it done?
Yeah. Now it's the you stop being the cool teacher and it's time to get to work.
Yep, exactly. All right, the Chargers release
Sims.
schedule last year was so much better. It was the anime one. I loved that one. I thought that was cool. This is kind of hokey. I'm not really feeling this. I'm really not. I'm a little disappointed.
Russell Wilson walking away in The Sims.
That's probably the highlight of it, tell you the truth. God, Lord, they're still talking to Joe Buck over here on the NFL Network. Wow, and they zoomed in on that.
They're just sharing talent.
I can't take this. Is too much. All right, so week 3 is a Monday night doubleheader. Okay.
Week 3?
Week 4.
How arbitrary is that?
Week 4, Titans, Dolphins, and Seahawks, Lions. One's on ESPN, one's on ABC.
2 weeks in a row, they have a doubleheader.
Don't forget we're week 7. We're how many weeks now? Don't forget with the extra game, so they got to balance it out. I'm assuming that's what this is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wow.
Week 3 and 4. I'm not gonna complain about it, but it's the Dolphins. Hey, okay. For you fantasy people, of course, the Dolphins are going to be big and heavy, so that's going to be the viewership right there. Unbelievable.
Yeah. They talked about the AFC West. They spent that entire segment on the AFC West, and they've only talked about the Bucks and the Falcons on the NFC South. It's like, and we're already halfway through the show.
Yeah, it's like, I get it. I think what it is they hit the high points. That's what these shows are. They hit the high points. They hit the popular teams, the ones with some storylines and stuff, because this stuff is coming out. And like I said, it's leaked. We talked about it. It's leaked. So once 8 o'clock hit, or even like 7:50, people are already on the X and stuff like that. So the schedules are out.
Which is fine, but that means the show should be over right now. They should not be dragging this out an extra hour.
Come on now. It's the NFL. We're all suckers. We're all going to sit there and want to hear. Well, I really don't want to hear Dan Orlovsky talk about anybody, but it is what it is, No disrespect, but I'm not like, wow. Like Marcus Spears, I'll listen to that man all day, man. That man speaks he gets me interested. Dan Orlovsky's just like, I don't know, man. It's like he wants to be that really cool biology teacher you had in like high school, and you're like, dude, you're not cool. He's like wearing Scaries and stuff, and he thinks he's cool and hip with the kids.
I had a biology teacher like that.
It's probably Dan Orlovsky. Maybe it was his older brother. I'm just saying, like, it's like, okay, Dan, it's just what it is. He just strikes me as that guy, and it's like, okay, great, whatever. But then everyone else it just seems like they have fun with it. He's just that boring, wants to be a cool teacher.
Yeah. Nerd.
Yeah, go. I'll give Dan his thing. I'll give him his props. But it's just crazy. Like you said, for 2 hours, it's like, come on now, give me some, give me some substance here. You touch on one game, then you drop and do 20 other games, and it's like, well, where are we? The best reunion games. Okay, here we go.
Now they're doing some fluff topics.
Yeah, at this point, it's like, okay, the brothers. All right. Well, the Celtics are winning as well. Just want to point that out since I'm the ticker there on the bottom. Don't say Sunday Scaries doesn't give you full circle sports analysis. Don't say we don't do that. The Chargers are going to be interesting. They're going to be an interesting team just for how it's going to change for them.
I think this is a second-year PA producing this show, because They already talked about this game.
They're going in more in depth because now it's just the brothers. It's the brothers. Like you said, it's a fluff. Oh, see, here we go. Now we're back. And look, and there's Adam Schefter on the corner there, waiting for his phone to ring because, that's the big game.
Like Adam, real. There's no news to break tonight.
Zach Wilson is still with the Broncos. Just want to let you know.
So this is what was this? Week 13 or something like that? Oh, there we go. They'll probably maybe they won't. Yo, can you put up a graphic? Thank you.
Here we go.
Week 12. Okay. Week 12, Monday night. All right. I mean, we kind of already talked about this, but
it's their third head-to-head meeting.
Is this third?
Yeah.
Did they play during the regular season when he was in San Francisco?
I think so.
Okay.
John is 2-0.
I mean, I guess we can give our opinion of what their top reunion game is. This one doesn't really do a whole lot for me, I will say.
I don't care.
Like Falcons, Vikings, the Kirk Bowl.
Right. But Kirk didn't have any kind of talent, and all of a sudden, the Falcons are going to win it all. Right? Okay.
Here, this one.
The Ben DiNucci Bowl.
That's right. Why? Okay. I don't understand this because Russ might not even be playing.
Yeah.
This could be just the Justin Fields show by this point. And Pittsburgh should feel really stupid because they didn't exercise his option. But that could be Russ could be extremely irrelevant at this point.
You know what? But the Steelers are like whatever. The Steelers are only paying them league minimum.
Yeah.
Because the Broncos are on the hook for all that money because it's easy to cut a guy who's supposed to be making $50-something million. You just throw that money away.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting here. I think just for the atmosphere of it all.
Oh, with Saquon? Is he gonna get booed? Yeah.
That's going to be entertaining.
Yeah, I will say the one they just showed was Stephon Diggs against the Bills. That one I'm intrigued about.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm so much intrigued for Saquon because I don't see the Giants as half of the Eagles right now.
No, but it's one of those things where it's a division game and it's Giants Eagles, so it's really rare, I think, to see a guy jump from, especially in that division, from one team to another. So it just has that juice to it, Oh, this one. Tom Brady's debut. This is Tom Brady's debut. The man, he's going to be around the NFL forever. Just can't get rid of him.
This is that game. They got absolutely embarrassed.
Yeah, this one's going to be interesting. Like I said, for Dallas this year, it's all or nothing because no one knows what's happening with Dak's contract going forward. It's going to be interesting to see what the Cowboys do.
I mean, I'm sure Jerry's not totally thrilled with the deal he gave him.
Nope. So I think it's a deal where it's, if Dak doesn't perform or they don't win they probably have to make at least the conference championship for them to do anything with Dak. I think that's what it has to be, at least.
Yeah.
And this schedule is kind of rough.
You know what? Other than the Ravens, it's not the worst first 5 games. Oh, wait a minute. Well, they got the Lions going to the bye. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. They could go 3-2 there.
Okay, and then you have
4-2.
And then you have Lions bye. Then you go to the Niners. Falcons, then tough. Eagles, Texans, Commanders, Giants is kind of a break. Then you got the Bengals, Panthers, you get a break there. And then you have the Bucks, Eagles, and then the Commanders. That's
watch so you look at the second half, and it's like every other. Watch the Cowboys in typical Cowboys fashion be every other. Like the dog teams are the ones that they come out flat and they drop them all. And the teams that are good, they come out and they're like boom, 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 ready to throw haymakers. but they wind up splitting them or going 500 because that's just what happens when you're playing a good team.
That's true. And then what happens is they'll fire McCarthy and then bring in Mike Tomlin, the greatest 500 coach of all time.
Jerry would probably love Mike Tomlin. He would think that would be such a splash.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know. There's someone waiting in the wings, I think. He's taking a year off. Didn't get hired. Kind of juiced that team up a little bit. The Dark Lord himself. Bill Belichick.
I was going to say Tom Brady is not going to go coach.
Tom is not a Dark Lord. Tom's a happy guy. Leave Tom alone. The Dark Lord himself, Bill Belichick.
Yes. The Tarcillos. Yeah. All right. I mean, I would probably say the Bills Texans game. I guess maybe the Harbaugh Bowl. And the other reunion games don't do a whole lot for me.
No, I think a lot of them are more. It's more the show around it, like with the Giants and Eagles. Mm-hmm. It's Saquon going from New York to Philly. That's the juice to it. If he played for the Rams or something, no one would care. It'd be like, okay, for the Rams, whatever. But it's you basically are going down the street.
Yes.
And now you're playing with that kid instead of with your original friends that you grew up with. So now y'all hate each other, and that's what this is. Yeah. So that's what it is. It's the show. So I think it's still interesting. I think with the dynamic of the Eagles, it does improve their run game, I think, a bit more. But, there's questions there. Kelsey retiring. Is Jalen going to be the guy? Is he going to be who he was 2 years ago? Because he kind of fell apart at the end of the year. So there's definitely questions there, too. And they lost pieces on the defensive side.
Yeah. Let's touch on Tom a little bit, because I thought with him taking when he first said he was going to take the year off,
mm-hmm.
I kind of thought, okay, that makes sense, because Tom Brady seems like the type of guy that he doesn't want to go into something super green.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him. We won't ever see him, but I could see him like he's there on site. He's at the booth. He's in the truck. He's kind of feeling out like how producers talk to talent, that sort of thing. So
mm-hmm.
I could see him doing something like that. I don't know if he did that, but looking back on how the past year went, I kind of got the impression that he was enjoying the celebrity life. So I kind of thought that there was a chance that he was going to say, hey, Fox, thanks for this offer. That was a ton of money, but I'm just loving my life right now.
I think it was part of the plan. Okay, let me bring myself out here because all everybody knows is me, Tom Brady, the football player. Let me put myself out there so I can be seen as a true personality. And I'm sure he probably, hung out at Fox Studios, probably went over games, did his own version of play-by-play on games, probably worked with people there to get himself prepped. And I think he just wanted to put himself out there so people could kind of see him not as the football player, but as a personality. And I don't think he can get away from the game. I think he loves it that much. So I think this was a natural progression. Now, I don't know what happens if the league approves his minority stake in the Raiders, because that's what he's trying to purchase. So if that happens, does the league say, okay, well, I don't know if it's, a deal where they're like, nope, you can't do it.
Yeah, I could see him getting deep six as a conflict of interest, which would suck because I think Tom Brady, being who he is, owning a Vegas team would be like the cherry on top,
But I would
stardom.
It wouldn't surprise me if somewhere in the Fox contract it has it in there where if this does happen that he can walk away. I'm sure it's been approached. So. Mm-hmm. I think that's what'll happen. If they say, okay, you're there for this year, but then you got to give the contract up if you want it, I'm sure they'll come up with something and he'll walk away and then be sitting in the owner's box, the Raiders. And then if they need a win in the playoffs, here he comes.
Yeah. They just put the Eagles schedule up a second ago. And how about the week 5 bye? they have a Monday nighter, which obviously has a lot of energy. They have the Brazil game, and then they get the bye, and then they've got to run through their whole schedule. Like that's not the easiest task for Philadelphia.
It's not easy for a lot of these teams. So far, there's a lot of teams who have had early season buys.
And all quote unquote contenders.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, okay, you're finally getting your feet wet, you're getting into your rhythm. Oh, now you have a bye week.
Yeah.
I don't, it's one of those things where when's the perfect buy? I honestly think week 10, week 11, in that sense, you're in a rhythm, then okay, fine, take a break. Most teams by week 4 are kind of figuring out who they are.
Yeah. I always like the late buys just because the schedule is the season is so taxing to be able to rest and reset yourself to get ready for the playoffs.
Right.
Because at that point, like you said, with the early buy, you're trying to get your feet under, you figure out who you are, and then you get thrown off your rhythm. By week 10 to 14, you know who you are. So you just need a break.
Yeah. But it seems like the contenders aren't getting that. So it's going to be interesting, especially, around week 10, week 11. That's when the bumps, the bruises, the sores, and all that, and all the nicks and bruises you got are really starting to hit. So you kind of want to be able to rest, like you said, but it's not going to be that way. Look at the Rams Monday night.
What do we think about this with the first year post Aaron Donald?
I think they're going to be competitive.
This is actually a pretty tough schedule.
Lions, Cardinals, Niners, Bears, Packers. Bye week 6. There it is again. Raiders, Vikings, Seahawks, Dolphins, Patriots, Eagles, Saints, Bills. No, I think they can be competitive for sure. And yeah, losing Aaron Donald is huge for sure. But I think the bigger question is Matthew Stafford. Like he wants a new contract. Is this the last year for him with the Rams? They've got the young talent around him, so they're going to put points up. The question is, are they just going to be able to score more than the opponent?
Yeah. Well, do you think that the bigger concern is them scoring or them being able to keep the opponent at bay?
Their defense, I think, for the first time this year is going to be questioned. When Jalen Ramsey left, like people were like, okay, but at that point, Ramsey kind of wasn't the corner that we thought he was. Still, like it was kind of like, all right, he's kind of changed. Okay, time for him to move on because, like you said, you always had Aaron Donald, and Aaron Donald straight up was a game changer. So now you have to replace, or not, you can't replace it. You've got to find some pieces that'll kind of complement everyone else and try to find the production in other ways. So it's going to be interesting what that defense becomes.
Yeah.
Offensively, you're not worried about it. They can run the ball and they can throw it. So it's just going to be, can they stop other teams?
Yeah. Is there any steam taken off that first matchup against the Lions, considering they just played in the playoffs and the Lions? I mean, they gave it a spirited effort, but the Lions still kind of embarrassed them a little bit.
I think it's for the Rams. It's just they're going to prove that they belong. They're going to say we can score. We just got to stop them. And I think it becomes more of the onus on the Rams defense. Like they want to say, okay, we've got to stop them. We got whooped. We got whooped last time, but we've got to show that we can stop these types of offenses. We've got to be able to hold them to 20 points. If they can hold the Lions to 20 points, 25 points, they got a shot. Because the Lions, can put up the points. Their defense has improved dramatically, but this is also a proving ground for the Lions. Like the whole cutesy, yeah, they're the underdog. Now they've come out and yay, hooray, the Lions. Now they're being talked to as a Super Bowl contender. This is now where you have to put up. You've got to go, 13-4 or 14-3, and you have to be one of those teams that come December, January are in position to make that run.
Yeah, I would think we talked about it a little bit before. I would think super pressure on the Lions this year.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Like if they fall short, then it's going to be okay. Then if next year they don't at least get to the Super Bowl, it's okay. Well, what's going on? Because was that the window? What's the window that Dan Campbell gets you to? Because you've got the talent. What's the window that he gets you to? If it continues to be stalling out after the divisional round and things like that, then there's a problem. You've got to be, conference championship, getting ready, Super Bowl or bust. That's the way you guys are built now. Oh, the Rams' projected offense. See, it's a solid offense.
Yeah.
It's just what's that defense going to do? And I think they probably should have kind of shown the defense because that's where the onus is. That's what it's going to be. That defense can slow down these offenses because there's a lot of high-powered offenses in the NFC. If you're putting up 35, 38 points, but allowing 34, 35, it's not a good thing.
No. That's well, we I think they've probably gone through all the juice of the show already. So, I mean, what do you, as far as the big storylines, what's kind of your final parting thoughts on the schedule?
Well, it looks like they give out buys early. They're like, you're taking your bye by week 6, and that's it. So tough Nuggets, y'all better pony up, man up. Yeah, a lot of early buys. I think that's interesting. I think one of of course, probably the biggest storyline to start the season is the Chiefs' quest to win 3 in a row. Everyone's going to be on that. And is Aaron Rodgers going to make it through a game? I'm interested to see that. I think there's a lot of storylines, but I think the big one is the Chiefs. The buys are interesting to me.
And Kirk Cousins.
Oh yeah. No, the big question is is Kirk Cousins joining the Bills in the penthouse this year? No. We're removing the Bills. No, it's time to take the Bills out. They're whatever. You know what? The Bills were our whipping kids last year, and they proved us wrong to a point. So, but now it's going to be, Kirk Cousins. You guys paid this guy all this money. If he loses 3 or 4 games in a row, or if they go on a slide, is the rookie going in? Like, this is the question. Was your draft pick the right pick? It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to watch NFL on Netflix. I think that's interesting too. The Brazil game. There's just a lot of stuff. It really is, and I'm excited. Happy the season it's not here yet, but we're a little closer.
Yeah, I've actually was quite intrigued by the holiday game, so that's always good to do. Final words yours, sir. Let's say goodnight.
Everyone, schedule's out. Go home, print it out, pick your wins and losses, get ready, because next is OTAs, training camp, and then before you know it, first week in September is going to be knocking on the door. Let's go.